was like, your daddy told you he wanted to eat noodles and you couldn't even make noodles for him. And then all I could think of is asking God for him to come back so I can make a carton of noodles for him. I just want to make noodles for him. Yeah, God. Good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm not really happy today. Forget all this smile. It's just a facade. It's just me trying to put on a show basically. I know it's been a long time. Like I went MIA, but I mean, if you're not in your right frame of mind, you can't function, you can't shoot videos, you can't do anything basically. And it's been like that for a couple of months for me. But I'm glad to be back. Even though I'm just pushing myself, I am glad to be back. Today is the 25th of January, and today makes it 4 years since I lost my dad. And trust me, it hasn't been easy. I don't know if you can see my eye bags. I've been crying. It's not been easy. See, losing a parent, you won't understand until you're in that position. And the truth is, it gets better with time, but it doesn't get easy. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, okay, I lost my dad on the 25th of January 2020. 2021, it was hard. Like, when it was 1 year, it was so hard. The whole of 2020 was so hard for me. 2021, it was harder. But then 2022, it became a bit easier. I'm talking about the pain, oh, the pain, the pain level became a bit easier, but I don't even know what I'm saying at the moment. So when I lost my dad, it came in as a shock for me because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. If at all, I was even scared for my mom, because she was so sick at the time. All my prayer points were to her. I'm a preacher's kid, so I wasn't really praying for my daddy because he passed on now, so he could take care of himself, and handle himself. So I wasn't really bothered about my dad. All my prayer points, my mom, healing, every time. At the time, I was even a worker in church, harvesters. I was dedicated. It was because every January we do wine press, we fast. I fasted. I went to church every day to break my fast. Not like to break my fast, but to pray in the evening. And then during wine press, I was serving, I was working, so it was the Friday, 24th of January, and we had a vigil. I even brought my friends. From there, I went back home. We slept. I had a meeting that day. So, on getting dressed to go out for my meeting, I spoke to my mom. My friend was there, and my mom was with my brother, and then they were saying this was 25th. They were saying that my dad is not feeling too well. He's been sleeping. I was like, okay, wake him, because my dad snores when he sleeps, right? But that day, the snore was different. So I was like, okay, wake him up. Let me talk to him. They're like, they can't wake him up. I'm like, tell him his daughter wants to talk to him, Joe. They were like, Shay, you just come and see him. Because I was like, I would come on Monday because that was a Saturday. I will come on Monday. And my mommy was like, just come today and, see him. So I was like, okay, when I'm done with my meeting. So I don't like going back home empty handed. When I was done, I went to a restaurant called Foodies and I got food, like many packs of food. And something just said, buy snacks. Normally, I buy food and snacks for them, but the snacks I bought that day, it was a lot, a whole lot. And one thing about me is I always listen to my instincts, always. So I bought a lot of snacks. And when I got home, because it's the down parlor and the up parlor, right? Down parlor is for visitors. When I entered the house, I saw like people there. I was like, okay, maybe this is why God said I should buy snacks because I don't know what they are doing there, but I'm guessing they are visiting. I saw my aunties, So I went back upstairs, and immediately I entered the room, I saw my dad. He was covered with wrapper from his waist, and he was putting on socks. He looked very lean. And one thing with my family, we have body in my family. Like we have body. You get. We look well fed. So seeing my dad, I just dropped everything I was carrying and I ran to the parlor and I was crying. My brother came to meet me to hold me and everything. My mom was like, leave her, let her cry. When I was done crying, I came back. I lay down on the bed beside my dad. I held his hand. He was just snoring. It was snoring, but it was different. It wasn't the normal snore. So I held his hand. I just kept telling him, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Whatever you're going through, wherever you are, you'll have to find your way back to us. Like, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. You'll be good. Take your time, but just come back. I kept telling him, I love you, I miss you, I brought food for you, come and eat though, that kind of thing. Because my daddy loves food, and my daddy loves when I buy things for him, no matter how tiny, even if it's suya or abalumo, he's always happy to like eat whatever I bring to him. So like I bought you food now. I was trying to like tempt him to come back, So I was there for like 6 hours because I was just laying beside him till like 7. So I said, let me just go and pee. This was like 7:01. Immediately I stood up from the bed to go and pee. I just started hearing shouts. My mommy was shouting, crying. No, I didn't even pee. I ran back. I was like, did you wait for me to leave your side to die? The next thing, my mommy just okay. When I got there, I saw my daddy. He had like one tear had dropped on his face. I feel like my brother said that he feels like he cried because he couldn't achieve what he wanted to achieve. He cried because his time was cut short. He cried because he was leaving his family, you know, just and the next thing, mommy just slapped his face. Fredrina, because his name is Fred. Just slapped his face. Fredrina, like who do you want to leave me for? I mean, who do you want to leave me with? Are you joking? That kind of thing. Come on, come back. And I told her don't slap him again because I'm very like why are you slapping my daddy? That kind of thing. But I know she did it out of shock. Like you want to make me a widow. That kind of thing. I just said don't do that again. Don't do that. I wasn't even crying. I couldn't cry. And then I was a worker in church now. So I put on the group chat that, oh, my daddy is looking lifeless on the bed. That was before he died. That please, you should pray for him and everything. So they were saying words of prayers and everything. So when he died, I just updated them that I just lost my dad. They sent their condolences. They were telling me sorry. I called my friend. I was like, I just lost. I called my friend Tinike and I was like, I just lost daddy. Ah! The girl just started praying on the phone. Was like, he will come back. As in, she literally started praying where she was for my dad. Because I think she was having like a prayer session with some people, so she just joined hands with them. Praying for him to come back to life. Don't get me wrong. Growing up, I had like a messy relationship with my father, but there are some attributes that he has that I'm so thankful to God that he's my dad. There's some things that he does that I'm so happy that he's my dad. I love his free spirit. I love how happy he gets for people. I love how he gives like and I have so much similarities with my father in the sense that he gives the way he gives. You would think he has the world, but he doesn't. He would give you sometimes that might be his last card. He will give you, and that's how I am. Right? I took those sweet attributes from him, and then I also took his anger issues. He's the kind of person that if he's fighting with somebody, he wants every other person to fight with that person. Because if you are fighting with that person, he's likely to fight with that person too. Do you get? And that's how I am. Although I don't, if you fight with my friend, I'll be upset with you. Not like I'll fight with you again, no, but it was before you. Like my friend's fight becomes my fight. But now I won't just talk to you, but I'm not fighting you, but you're fighting with my friend, that kind of thing. So I have his anger issues. He used to want me all the time. Like you can't be, you're a woman. You have to learn how to control yourself. And then, I've been trying, but I'm happy. Like I'm happy how God made me. I love it. It has a balance. You know, Sometimes you need to show people that you can get mad too, no matter how nice you are. So my dad had anger issues, but he's like one of the sweetest. He was one of the sweetest people. He was literally the sweetest man I ever knew. He made things easy for me. He made life easy for me. Growing up, I used to feel like I was born with a silver spoon because I used to feel like I was born with a silver spoon because of how, you know, my dad provided. The truth is, he might just be using his last card to provide. I didn't lack. Growing up, I did not lack. I didn't lack. I'm sure that there were other people richer than my dad, of course. Even in school, when I was in boarding school, of course, there were other people richer than my dad. But if you look at me and look at some other people, you would think my dad has the world because of all the things he buys for me. Like in school, everybody had like a locker where they put their provisions in one layer and all, but I had two lockers, and one locker was mainly for my provisions. They used to call my locker a supermarket. So that was how he did not want me to beg anybody or ask anybody for anything. He was just, I'm not going to lie, life has been so difficult without him. You know, some questions that I want to ask, some questions that I need answers to, you know, I would never know those things. So I'm just here to say if you have both parents with you, or even if it's one, cherish every last moment you have with them because you don't know when it will be your last phone call, your last message. You don't know the last time, you don't even know when it will be the last time they will scold you, like they'll shout on you. You don't know. So whatever, chance you get, please just appreciate it and just live in the moment. Whatever chance you get, just live in the moment with them. Take care of them, because and that's why my mom, I don't joke with her because I don't know when it would be her last day. You know, I feel so silly crying in front of a camera. I feel so silly. I'm never going to lie. I feel so silly crying in front of a camera. So yeah, enjoy every moment you have with your parents because you don't know when it's going to be the last. And trust me, they love you so much. So if you think if you think they are annoying, Just enjoy it. Just let them annoy you for the few years they still have, and do everything within your power to, make them happy. I miss my dad. I love my dad, and I'll forever be grateful that he's my dad. There's one picture I used to explain who my dad was. So growing up, he used to be this very strict disciplinarian, always flogging, beating us. You know, we have to protect our image, that kind of thing. We were scared of him. Although I wasn't really scared of him, I understood my dad, right? But if he wants to beat you like this, just know that, hey, God, he must leave mark on your body, that kind of thing. But after we got to a certain age, he was still strict, but he became calm. He became very calm. So there are two pictures of a lion. I think I'll put it on the video so you would understand. He used to be this fierce lion, and then now he's just this. He was just this calm. Like, I don't know how to explain. Maybe when you see the pictures, you understand. So it's been 4 years without my dad, and I know everything has a reason. There's a reason for everything. Yeah, and there's nothing that happens without God's permission. But I just wish that things didn't have to turn out the way it turned out. And losing my dad made me lose faith in God. I lost my faith in God. I stopped going to church. I stopped being a worker. Although I watch services online, but at the time I didn't used to see the need to go to church. Mind you, I'm a pastor's child, though. But I lost my faith in God because why? You know, I kept asking God, I was coming to church, I was walking, I was serving you. So why do you think it's okay? And it was after my dad died, I remembered that I had a dream where, so I have this gift of dreaming. I don't dream all the time, but when I dream, it's either I write it down or I tell my mom, because I'm likely to forget. So I had a dream that I lost my dad. No, I didn't. Okay, so this how the dream was. Somebody just called me and said, Daddy's dead. And when I woke up, I just said, God forbid. And I didn't bother to tell anybody or pray about it because my strong father died. How? How now? Do you get? But it was after he died, and I told myself that if you had not gone home that Saturday, if you had waited to go home on Monday like you wanted to, somebody would have actually called you to tell you Daddy is dead. But I'm so grateful that I had to be there, you know, when he died. He literally died in our arms, and I'm grateful to God that I had to experience that, even though it's the most painful thing ever. When he died, there were a lot of beautiful moments, but there is one moment that I can never forgive myself for. Never. So I was a makeup artist at the time, so I was going to work. I also was doing my side hustle, doing makeup on the side. So after work that day, because I used to live in Ajegunle and I was working in Lekki, so I would come back home late at night because of traffic. So there was a time that I had a job that was going to pay me, extra cash. So I was going to come home and pick up my makeup things and go for the job. When I got home, my daddy was outside. He was like, "It's already past 8, I'll be past 9. You can't go back. You can't go back to Lekki for work. It's not possible." I told my dad, "There's a bike man here. I already spoke to the bike man. He'll take me straight to Lekki." My daddy said, not under his watch, that I should go inside. I was so upset because he had made me lose money. I paid the bike man. I went upstairs. I locked my door. He came later by like 11 to tell me he was hungry. Came later to tell me he was hungry. That came later to tell me he was hungry, that he wanted noodles. And I didn't come outside to make noodles for him. Yeah, come outside to make noodles for him. Came again, I didn't even answer him because I was upset. And the next day when I was going to work, I greeted him and he was like, I asked you to make noodles for me. I asked you to make noodles for me last night and you didn't. I just stood there while just said, it's okay. He didn't even scold me, just said, it's okay, no problem. If that's what you want, that you made me go to bed upset. No, he said he made me go to bed hungry. And when I was coming back that evening, I bought things for him, obviously to bribe him. But when he died, that thought just came to my head that the daddy actually asked you to make noodles because he had not eaten all day. Because I think he was fighting with my mom, and when he fights with my mom, he doesn't like to eat her food. It's just a bad habit. Me too. I have that habit. When I'm upset, I reject food. So I was like, your daddy told you he wanted to eat noodles, and you couldn't even make noodles for him. And then all I could think of is asking God for him to come back so I can make a carton of noodles for him. I just want to make noodles for him. Oh God, I feel so silly crying. I don't want to get up to get tissue. Anyways, I don't know. If I just keep talking and talking, I'll just keep crying. So please cherish every moment you have with your parents, your loved ones, because you don't know when it will be the last time you will hear from them or talk to them. You know, that's all I want to say. Cherish every moment you have with your parents, please. With your loved ones, cherish every single moment. Please, I don't know how I can beg you to cherish every moment you have with them. Please. I'll see you in my next video. I'll be better. Of course, I'll be better. And, I love you guys. Thank you. Bye. Yes, I was done shooting, but I remembered something. So that's why I came back to say this. So there's this song, I don't know. There's this song that kind of comforts me, but it makes me sad. It's called Charlie by Simi. If you listen to that song, like really listen to it and understand it, especially when you've lost your dad, just hold a box of tissue, because she was talking about how she'd never got a chance to say goodbye. That they've missed a lot of birthdays, a lot of celebrations, Christmas, that she just walked down the aisle the other day and he wasn't there to walk with her. That she's not mad though. In fact, she's very furious. The song just, because very soon I'm going to get married and my dad won't be there for my celebration. It's just sad. Whenever I think about it, it's just so sad. I was attached to my daddy before he died, like a couple of years before he died. So it's really hard on me, really, really hard on me. So yeah, that song, she listened to it. It's called Charlie by Simi. It's such a beautiful song, talking about how she wants him to be proud of her, and how we should say hi to the angels for her. Such a beautiful song. So if you've lost your dad, and even if you've not lost your dad, just listen to it. It's such a beautiful song.